friends, I'm Pastor Carrie. We are gathered together once again on our Lenten journey. This is the 6th week of Lent, and today we are focused on the teaching of Jesus, and particularly Jesus' teaching found in the book of Matthew, the 6th chapter, verses 25 and verse 33. Therefore, I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or what you will drink, or about your body, what you will wear. Is not life more than food? Is not the body more than clothing? But strive first for the kingdom of God and God's righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. I'm out in the church courtyard today, in the church garden, and I'm seeing all sorts of plants and trees and flowers. Some have burst forth with new life. Some are waiting. They're waiting for the right moment, for the God moment, for them to burst forth with new life. And, I don't think any of them are worrying. We've had a chat, and I didn't sense any worry in any of them. They are patiently trusting and waiting on God. And isn't that Jesus' teaching for us today? We spend a lot of time worrying. We use a lot of our imagination, don't we? Is spent on thinking about the worst case scenario. And I'm not sure that that's what God created our imaginations for. I think God had something bigger in mind when God made us in God's image, with this ability to create and to imagine life. And certainly if we don't have enough food or enough clothing, we can imagine how that would take up a lot of our time. And that's real and something that we do need to spend some time thinking on and problem solving, maybe for ourselves or maybe how we could help someone else. And I think also true is that God is saying to us that I have so much more planned for you. What my plan for you and for all of creation was that our imaginations would be used on so much more. We see it in verse 33, that our imaginations would be used, poured out in worship and in blessing through the process of thinking about the kingdom of God. In fact, thinking first about the kingdom of God, about a place, a time where everyone everywhere is doing things God's way instead of their way. That's the kingdom of God, isn't it? Where everyone everywhere is declaring not the reign of sin, not the reign of God's enemy, not the reign of death and destruction, not the reign of unrest and disease, but the reign of God's love. That is where we are to spend our imagination. That is where our imagination should first go. Imagining the kingdom of God, a place and a time where everyone everywhere chooses on purpose to do things God's way instead of their way. When we think about it, so much of what we worry about is caused by us and others taking their imaginations and focusing them somewhere else. So how appropriate that Jesus teaches us to not worry. And in other places, in the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus reminds us that nature doesn't worry. Nature doesn't fret. Nature waits and trusts God's love. And if they can do it, I think we can, with God's help. So friends, my prayer for myself, my prayer for you, my prayer for us together as the church is that we would use all of our imagination this Holy Week to be thinking about the reign of God's love, that's where we would go first and trust that all the other things will be added to us. You are loved, friends. Have a peaceful week. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.